I'm going to showcase some of the HTML games I got from the same prompt on different platforms. So here we have O3 Mini High, and this is the prompt I gave to all of them. I told them it's a coding competition between them, and that I'd like to see a top-down racer, player controls the car, a camera moves with the car, has to be a single HTML file, track has to be editable in the code, and easy for any moron to edit. So this is the code O3 Mini High gave me, and this is the game right here. Let me refresh this. It's a good starting point. You do have a car and pretty quick movements. It's just he put me in a position that's hard to get started, and the turn radius I noticed with a lot of these AIs, they either do it too fast or too slow. Obviously, it doesn't know what it's doing, but you can tell it. So this is unedited. I didn't follow up with another prompt. Pretty hard to move around, but it's something that you can work with. There's even a boost button, and I'm not sure if what I just hit was a checkpoint or a collectible, but a good starting point, even though if the map it gave us is a bit hard to work with. So from there, we're going to move on to Grok 3. This is Grok 3 yesterday, and where'd it go? Oh. Again, it put me. This one's worse because as soon as you hit something, it dies. One thing that I told them is also add some feature to differentiate themselves, and I didn't tell it what. I just said, you choose. So some of them will add death, collision on death, or boost pads or whatever. If I can get this the right way, oh my god. Yeah, so this is already frustrating, as you can see. I can't remember. Okay, good enough. So this is apparently a boost pad, and when you're on it, it changes your colors. There's some other yellow block down there. It's too frustrating to play. It's workable. It's not that different from O3 Mini High. Then we move. This is O3 Think from yesterday. And even though it's very basic and a little slower, which honestly it's fine because everything was moving too fast, he did do a pretty cool thing is while the map looks like crap, he did add an opponent that actually uses waypoints. So that's a pretty cool feature. And so and it has a mini map. I liked this one, and so I started playing with the map editor and ended up making this. I didn't put the waypoints for the AI, so I mean, not that it's great, but it technically would have worked, I think. I just put 2 waypoints there. And then I went straight into the track editor to test it out. Let's just do 1 lap here. There's no... he put a timer and a lap counter, but I didn't see any way to add... I think one of these is a... Oh yeah, one is a starting point and one is the finish point, but it doesn't trigger when you go over it, so... Yeah, well, anyway, that works all right. Then I'm going to move to... So this was Grok 3 and 3 Thinking yesterday. And if it's actually getting smarter by the day, I don't know. But I will say this is Grok 3 today without thinking. Same exact prompt. I just open a new session. Same exact prompt. Much, much cleaner. He also included some kind of AI that moves around. I didn't check the code, so I'm not sure what it's doing. If it's just bouncing off stuff, if it's looking for waypoints. There's collision detection. I think there's also some kind of, when I press a spacebar, it does something. Maybe a drift. I'm not sure, but either way, pretty clean code from Grok 3. This is today Grok 3 Thinking. Now it looks honestly not as good. It's not as, I don't know. It's just not, it doesn't look as good in my opinion. But it did try to add more features. It did something different in the other games. It made a triangular car. It does have a checkpoint system that works, and then collision and all that crap. Unfortunately, I can't get to those, but yeah. And the turning radius is really slow, but it's either too fast or too slow. Except this guy. This guy actually got it pretty damn good right off the bat. So Grok 3 today, Grok 3 Thinking today. All right, now we're going to move on to the special needs group of large language models. This is Copilot. And yeah, this is Copilot. I think if it was the 1970s, this would be impressive. Moving on. Copilot thinking. So the last time, I didn't realize that Copilot had a thinking mode. I haven't checked in a long time, and I'm not sure when it came online, but yeah, it's a thinking mode. And it's actually, this result is actually pretty decent. The car moves quickly and smoothly. Uh, you know, if I were to edit the track, I wouldn't even bother modifying the parameters of the car too much. They're pretty straight. They're pretty accurate to how I would like them. These yellow things are supposed to be waypoints, I think, and those are enemies. So it can detect when you're. I guess this is supposed to simulate dirt. What's interesting is that you can go through it, but depending on how you hit it, it will actually bounce off. See, it kind of bounced off. Yeah. Anyway, that's actually not bad. This is actually usable. Good job, Copilot. Meta. This is Meta, and I didn't see a Meta thinking model. I just saw Meta, and I'm not actually pressing anything right now. It operates on snake rules. Basically, the red dot is always moving, and you press up, down, left, or right. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. When you hit the wall, it dies. There's a pop-up that says game over. It's all right. I mean, it can be worked with, and it didn't quite understand the rules, but half of these don't anyway. Moving on. So this is ChatGPT 4.0, and I have to say I was actually a little disappointed because I've run this prompt many times before, and it's I've gotten actually some pretty decent results from 4.0, even like during last summer. So it was significantly less smart than it is now. But this result was garbage, and it was even worse. It was even worse before. So I asked it to improve on it. So I cheated a little with this. I asked it a second time. And like, hey, fix this shit. And yeah, this is the result. So yeah, maybe the next round it'll do better. But this, I tried a few times, and they were all about the same. So maybe it didn't like my prompt, or maybe I just got a bad roll. I know it can do better, but this is what 4.0 is. Let's move on to 0.1. 0.1 is actually really decent, really quick, really smooth, good physics. They all have some kind of collision, and not all of them add a little something here or there. Some of them just will do the bare minimum, and 0.1 did in this case. In terms of performance, it feels on par with 0.3 Mini. I'm not sure. I wouldn't be able to tell apart which one made which. All I know is 0.3 Mini did kind of include a little bit more stuff, and this is just the bare minimum. Anyway, that's 0.1. Oh, we're out of the special needs zone, by the way. I was only talking about Copilot and Meta. Gemini 2. This is Gemini 2 Flash, I think. Normal movement. They all pretty much have the same movement. Some will screw up with the speed or turning radius. Some will get it correctly. What's interesting is Gemini 2 decided to do its own unique track design. Good for it. I'm not sure. I forgot to check. Half of these I didn't even check the code, but I'm not even sure how you're supposed to. I'm sure there's parameters to draw a track, and there's no collision, so it would be just a doodle track that you would do. Probably some mathematical graph of some sort. It did its best. I actually like this one. It's very simple. It's a good starting point. It's really fast. This is Gemini 2 Flash Thinking. Yes. So the other one was, this is not thinking, this is thinking. And the one interesting thing about this one is that it decided to make an enemy that follows you. So that's something different, and there's a little bit more difficult coding there, especially for somebody like me that knows literally nothing about coding. So not bad. A little plain, but not bad. I mean, and also, is there? Yeah, no, the grass and the road act the same. Whatever. So no sign of collision detection. Moving on. This is oh right okay so we saw Gemini 2 thinking. This is Gemini 2 experimental. So there's Gemini has like this experimental section. This is Gemini 2 experimental. So it definitely looks better than Gemini 2's version that it coded. The only thing is it's a little glitchy. If you get too close to the wall, it starts messing with the physics. Like right now, I'm stuck. I can't move. Uh, Physics. I mean the controls. Yeah. See, as soon as you hit a wall a few times, maybe it's supposed to simulate you crashing and getting damaged and slowing you down. I didn't even think about that. I should really read the notes in the future. Yeah, it's starting to actually it's starting to make sense because every time I hit something, it's going slower and slower. Okay, or maybe it's just bad coding. This is Gemini 2 experimental, and following it is Gemini 2 thinking experimental. So, in my opinion, this is one of the most fun large language models out there. I enjoy this one a lot. So, this one you can see it put a little bit more effort into the map. There's definitely a difference between your, well, it's supposed to show, let me rephrase this. Sometimes it knows you're on grass, sometimes it knows you're on the road, but it gets confused. So there's definitely some screw ups in the code. There's also, you can see its own little AI, but it's going in a circle. So there's probably like some kind of little waypoint here and it's going around. The weird thing is that waypoint is actually moving. So you can see the car is moving away. Another thing is if you look over here in the map, there's a blue car, and you can see it, and maybe you can on the camera, but I see it roll around and then it just disappears, and I can't get there in time. So I wonder what's going on there. It definitely did put a little bit more effort than Gemini 2 thinking regular. So if this played well, it would be pretty nice. Now we're moving on to DeepSeek. DeepSeek actually had to re-roll a few times simply because it kept giving me non-functioning code. But when it did give me a code, this is DeepSeek normal. It's not the thinking model. And this is, I mean, they're all pretty much the same. I mean, they all know how to hit the basics. So I'm just judging right now on how they feel right off the bat. You know, think of them as a canvas, and then you think like, okay, you throw a little bit of you splat some paint on them, and then you're wondering like, okay, I can work with this. I can make something out of this. So that's what I'm doing with these all these codes. This one looks like it would be workable. It's not bad. It's definitely it's mid-range. And now I'm going to move to my two favorite ones. This was Claude yesterday. Not that it matters. I don't think they updated it or anything. This is Claude 3. Much smoother. A little too quick. But that also has a checkpoint system, which is cool. Works really well. Oh, I missed one. Come on. The tracks, obviously, that it never got a single track once right, so it doesn't matter. But once you collect all the checkpoints, if you look at the top left corner, it's initiated lap 2. It saved the best time. Works pretty dang well. Just need to adjust I guess, the movements a bit. That's Claude. Did I say Claude 3? Is it Claude 3? I don't remember. And then this is DeepSeek R1, and I this is kind of my favorite. Did Claude 3? Yeah. Okay. So they all pretty much have, not all of them, but most of them have mini maps. This is Claude 3, DeepSeek R1. Pretty straightforward, but so it detects when you're on grass as opposed to the road, and also when your speed changes too quickly, it will leave skid marks, and I thought that's absolutely fantastic. Oh, and I completely forgot, when it collides, it has a sparking effect. So this, oh crap, I'm stuck. Oh no. Okay, well, you guys get the point. I think, honestly, DeepSeek won this round. I'll probably do another code test like this in the future. Bye.